Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Candidly with Coffee.
And we are back.
Yes, we're back. It is happy Monday for all of you listeners out there. For us, it is Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon. What time is it, about 3?
2:30.
2:30.
2:45. You know what's weird? That doesn't sound too late for most people, but for me, who goes to bed at 7,
Yeah.
2:45 is like late.
Yeah, because you I think I walked in the bedroom about 8 o'clock and you're already out. So that means, what, you're sleeping until 4:35, you're getting 8-9 hours of sleep, You're done. That's it.
Yeah, I'm up at 5.
Yeah.
Pretty religiously, I'm up at 5.
Pretty much.
The latest that I wake up usually is 5:30. So 5 o'clock, I'm up, but I go to bed early. I don't go to sleep right away, but lately I go to bed at 7. I watch a show or two, and then I'm asleep by 8:30 at the latest. That's just the routine I'm on.
I could fall asleep early, too. If I went and laid in bed with you that early, for sure, I'd knock out.
I like it, to be honest, but today I'm tired. Like, I feel extra tired, even early. Like, I am shocked that it's only 2:45. It feels like it's later.
So that means you're not going to watch the NBA Finals with me later?
What time is that?
5:30?
I could probably catch it for a little while you're watching it, like
Yeah.
secondary. To me, I call that secondary watching. I like things that I can be doing other stuff and it's on in the background.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
catch a little, like I'll sit out there with you and I'm not vested in it. I'm not totally into it.
You're not like me, yeah.
But I can secondary watch it. But if I'm into a show, I cannot secondary watch it. I'm like phones off, put away, like my Housewives, my Vanderpump, even the show that I'm watching this weekend. I'm binging a show right now. I'm so into it. So I think I talked about this show.
Are you going to give them the name
Yeah,
of it?
I think I talked about this show before, the first season, when it was on last year. It's called The Ultimatum. I think we even did a whole episode on it. And I noticed Netflix released season 2, and I started watching it last night, but this one's a little different. It's the Ultimatum queer version, but it's all lesbians. I don't know if they're all like lesbian or bisexual or whatever, but it's all woman-on-woman couples.
Yeah.
And it's
interesting,
so
huh?
fascinating.
Different, huh?
I love it. It's just so fascinating because I've always thought about, gosh, but how does that dynamic work? Because women can be so emotional, and if both of them are emotional, I mean, they're both having periods, they're both PMSing.
How does
so
that
it's
work?
an interesting dynamic because you learn about a lot of the jargon and stuff they use about the relationship. One of the girls was saying like she doesn't typically, or like she's usually attracted to mask, and she was referring to masculine.
Ah, that's the term.
Mask.
Mask.
So she said a
Masculinity.
mask.
Interesting.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. And it's going to be a good show, I think. I'm already in like episode 5. I think I'm halfway through it. I'm enjoying it so far. It's
You
definitely
say they
interesting.
move fast, huh?
Yes. So I'm not stereotyping. I'm repeating what I heard Reza from the Shahs of Sunset.
Yeah.
He has said that in the gay community, they are on they're like the fast track. He said if you're together for 3 months, it's like equivalent to 3 years.
Wow, that's
You're
super.
engaged, you're married, you're living together.
Damn, no way.
Yeah. So it's just a totally different dynamic.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. So anyways, that's good that I've been enjoying watching that. What I wanted to say was thank you, by the way, for all of your outpouring of questions and suggestions for Tyler, my son, who is having his autoimmune flare-up post-COVID. I really appreciate all of your suggestions, your comments, your concern just for reaching out. I really appreciate it. I had so many messages.
Wow, thank you guys.
Just an update on him. It's still been pretty rough. Today, I would say, is his best day yet in terms of he got sleep. He said yesterday through yesterday afternoon and all night, he pretty much was able to sleep.
That's good.
Which is the first time in 8 days.
Wow.
And his eyes were sinking in and everything was crazy. We did get him into the ER twice for medication and hydration. So that helped him too, I think.
Yeah.
But he's still on the mend. He's not better yet, but he's not completely better, but he's on the way in a more positive way. Last time we left you guys, he still hadn't really turned a corner, I feel like. Now I feel like he's turned the corner.
Yeah, he has.
So I'm definitely going to be researching like what this could be, like with a functional medicine doctor. I want him to see a functional medicine doctor because if I'm being completely honest, the regular doctors, all they're doing is treating symptoms.
Band-Aid.
All they care about is treating symptoms, which that's fine and dandy. But when this flare is over, we need to figure out a way for this not to happen again or us to get in front of it in some way. Because
you mentioned something happened to you when you were in your 20s.
Yes. So I was 25 and I had an autoimmune. They actually diagnosed me when I was 25 with lupus, and it ended up not being the case. I was misdiagnosed, but I had some sort of autoimmune condition when I was 25. For me, it was a rash all over my body, and my joints became very swollen and inflamed and stiff, like stiff. I couldn't even walk. It was really weird. And it happened for a while, and I had to get on like steroids and things like that. And they told me at the time there was nothing they could do really, and that it was just something that I would have for the rest of my life, and that I would have periodic flares. And I never had another flare.
Crazy.
Yeah. It
Just
just
went
never
away.
happened. But it's interesting that it was the same age. It's
Right?
25. Yeah. So hopefully we can get to the bottom of it. Many of you suggested going to functional medicine doctor, and I do agree. So
Yeah.
that is what I'm going to look into for him. There's some supplementation that people recommend when you're having autoimmune type things,
Yeah.
vitamin D, B12. He's going to have to be really on top of his health
Yeah.
because
Maybe even
it's-
get B12 shots. Stay on
Because
top
let
of
me
it
tell
all.
you, it's bad. Like it's not an exaggeration. It's been a rough 8 or 9 days, but I think that we're see the light at the end of the tunnel now.
And this is post-COVID, which is crazy.
Yeah, what do you mean post-COVID?
This started after he got COVID.
Yeah, that's a trigger. So when it's an autoimmune conditions are triggered typically by stressors, any kind of stressor, whether you get sick or you're under a stressful situation or something out of the ordinary. And so COVID act as the stressor.
Damn.
This is what we believe, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely going to look into it because the thought of him having this again
No, this is rough on him.
it's very rough. But I appreciate everybody so much. Thank you so much for all the comments. I read all of them. And also just a reminder, I was looking at the stats for our podcast. And I noticed a lot of the people that watch us on YouTube regularly don't actually subscribe. So make sure you hit the subscribe button.
Please subscribe, y'all.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel and comment on those videos. That's really appreciated. And then if you have not already had a chance to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast, please do that as well. We just had, I think, our top downloaded episode. I don't know why. I think it's because of TikTok.
Ah,
But the episode from
nice.
last week was our most downloaded episode. And I think it's because there is a video. I did a clip of the video from the episode.
yeah.
And it went viral on TikTok. It's got 150,000 views or something like that on
Wow.
TikTok.
Still
So
growing.
I think that got people downloading the episode. And anyways, that made me happy. That's
good.
exciting, right?
Of course it is.
I didn't expect that. I was just a short little minute clip, me talking about Berberine. And then I saw that kind of doing well. And so I'm like, it correlates. It must be because of that video that we're getting so many more downloads, new downloads.
Thank you, guys.
So thank you guys
For new
so
listeners.
much. Okay, now for some cheese may. I don't even have coffee or anything. It's too late for me to be drinking caffeine,
Not me.
but some hot coffee.
Uh-oh.
So I ran into a mutual friend, and I'm not, all of this is going to be nameless, but I have some gossip that's going to parlay us into part of today's a topic, which is going to be on cheating and cheating scandals, things like that. So I ran into the ex-wife of somebody that we know. We knew this couple very well.
Yes.
And we had heard that they got a divorce or that they were getting a divorce. And so
That's correct.
just like with anything, always remember this. There's always 3 sides to the story. But obviously when they split, you got one side of the story.
Yes.
And I feel like there's probably more to that, but I ran into the other half of the relationship and got the other side of the story.
Yep, you did.
And this particular side of the story was that this spouse, she discovered that he had been sleeping with prostitutes for 5 out of the 7 years that they were together.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Is that crazy?
It is. It is. Because you're living like a double life.
And I'm like, how in the heck did he get away with that long? She's so easy. She goes, I trusted him. Like, he works and work late a lot, work overtime a lot. I never thought anything of it. But came across some information, did some research that took her back to, that led her to an escort service.
Yeah, she did her
And
homework.
then that opened up a can of worms. Because once you find something, and I know this, I've experienced this before, once you find something, then you find a lot of things usually. It's not usually an isolated something. But yeah, that this person, he had been hiring for years escorts. And it just made me think about, gosh, like all of the things, like how did he get away with it that long? And his wasn't very elaborate, but there's a lot of crazy things that people can do to get away with because there was some things that were elaborate. So for one, the charges for a lot of these services and sites and all of this stuff do not show up. They show up as like 7-Eleven or a bank name or something.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to cover your tracks. And also the phone numbers. There's a masking app where you can mask phone numbers so that even if you come across the phone number, it will trace back to something that's a grocery store or something like that.
Damn.
So there's apps for that. There's apps for hiding pictures. There's apps for hiding conversations. There's like, I'm sure you guys know, but there's like calculator app. Like it looks like a calculator.
Yeah, I've heard
and
about
it's
that
really
one.
like where you can hide pictures in it. So they're not in the camera roll. So there's so many ways that they can like.
All that trouble for what? Why even be in a relationship or married? That's just too much goddamn trouble.
Yeah.
You're living a double life. The anxiety
Yeah,
of
like
that.
I know of a good story that I'll share. I know someone that she suspected that her husband cheated on her on a particular trip that he was on.
Okay.
And she found some information about like people that they met or whatever and knew where those people were from. And she thought, I suspect that he cheated on me with one of these girls from this trip. Let's just say Alabama. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yeah.
Say it's Alabama. So she downloaded an app that she was able to text him from a number in Alabama. Like she was able to disguise her phone number. And so it became from like the call was coming from Alabama.
Oh.
And texted him. And said something like, hey, like very vague, just to rope him in.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Is this such and such? I got your number. We met this weekend. Can you talk or whatever? And then he acknowledged that it was him. So right away she goes, okay.
Boom.
So he's
Step
like,
one.
He's not saying, who the fuck is this?
Yes.
I don't know you. Okay, so she roped him in there. And she did. It. Now that I think back, it was a brilliant question to get all the answers that you need. She goes, I know this is crazy. She goes, I won't bother you. I just need you to answer one question because I started to get paranoid. Should I get an STD test?
Whoa.
And he said, no, you don't, trust me. You don't have to worry about that. I promise. Would that be his answer if he hadn't slept with her? He'd be
Yeah,
all, what
no.
the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I'd be like, this
And
crazy
this is him
bitch.
texting. Mind you, the wife is sending him these texts while she is in the room with him. She's on her iPad texting him, and he's
Wow.
getting these texts with her in the room. How about them apples?
Damn.
So
That setup is smooth.
here's the
man.
trick, though. Here's the thing. You have to be on to somebody. You have to be on to someone, and then they're toast. Because once you are on to them, you got them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I guess you have to trust your instinct. You have to trust your instinct. And no, ladies.
It's always when somebody's behavior changes.
Yeah. But no, here's the thing, though. These apps and all of these ways to conceal things give people false confidence.
That's true, too. You're
You're
right.
like, oh, sure, you want to see my phone here. You give it over because, shoot, I have my secret apps. I have nothing in my camera roll. It's in my password protected, encrypted this, that, and the other. So
Yeah.
the traditional methods of what used to work, those don't work anymore. But I think it is important for you to know that there's all this like crazy stuff if you feel something is off, act on it.
What you always say? What's your famous?
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
I always say that.
He was like, look for the smoke. Oh, there's smoke over there.
Because usually, yeah, if there's smoke.
You always say that. You always say that even about, we'll watch like some rumors in like celebrity world. And you're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but here's the thing, because.
Until it finally blows up. Then it comes out to light. You're like, yep. Just
if
like
you
I said.
start to hear rumblings.
Yes.
And it's more than one rumbling.
Uh-huh.
It usually there's some truth to it.
Yeah. Like that show you're watching. Remember those rumblings of that chick's possibly did her husband possibly cross the line with that girl?
Oh, so Vanderpump.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so on Vanderpump
Remember you were saying that there's some rumblings.
Well, you got to think where, and as soon as you discover one thing, usually it's not the only thing. That's what I'm trying to say.
You start peeling the onion.
So if you
like, oh, shit.
figure out that this girl, Raquel, on Vanderpump, she had the audacity to have an affair with one of her best friend's long-term boyfriend, that means she's capable of doing it with any of her friends' men. So how many others are there?
Yes.
That's what I mean by when you look under a rock, sometimes you find a lot more than you bargained for.
There's a lot of roaches come out running. Whoa.
Yeah. It's usually not isolated.
Yeah, you're right.
It's usually not isolated. Like with this circumstance, this particular person who found out her husband had hired an escort, it wasn't an isolated incident. When you start peeling back the layers, you realize, shoot, this has been going on for how many years?
Yeah, that's
how much money has been spent? What what else? So all those trips that he goes on, all of the times that he's working late, every single thing gets called into question.
Yeah. Damn.
And you can also very easily hire private investigators now, because there's cyber private investigators, and they know they can do like facial recognition stuff, phone number stuff, where they can put it into their database, and they can tell you if your spouse's number has been associated with any escort agencies, whether they've been on any unscrupulous dating sites, whether they have even on international ones, crazy. So you can find it all out.
Wow. Peeling an onion.
Yeah. So it's and it's cheap. It's not. I did a little research this morning just to see. It's not even hard. It's all you got to do is pay a little fee, give their picture, their phone number, whatever phone numbers that are associated with them, if they have work phones, things like that, and then you get a report.
Look what you just did. Everybody's gonna hit your DMs. Please do pass that information on.
No, they just couldn't search. It's easy. I'm just saying, so that you don't waste years of your life with someone who's cheating on you, that you may as well just.
That's true. It's messed up doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Just divorce. It's not the end of the world.
No, it's not. But people take the divorce like a death. I've broken up. I broke up with my ex. You broke up with yours. But did it hurt a little bit? Yes, it was sad, but get over it.
Up.
You move ahead.
Why go through all of this shit to hide your behaviors?
Or what did I tell you earlier? What if I said I do when deep down this whole time we've been married and I really don't feel that way this whole time? I'm living a lie. I'm pretending.
But I think that it would.
I'm not saying it's the same thing.
No, but I think you can't hide that kind of thing for long, though.
Yeah.
It would reflect.
You would have probably saw it by now.
Yeah,
But people do that. Why do people do that though? Why do people, instead of knowing, fuck, I really don't want to do this, but I don't want to pull out, they go through with it. Like, no, dude, don't do that.
No.
I don't get it. Psychology wise, why do you do that?
I don't know. But here's another thing, another little, this is a little juicy tidbit from insider information on law enforcement. Just so you guys know, it is a known thing in law enforcement from back in the day. So before apps and social media and all of that, the way they hide their dirt is they keep it in their locker at work.
Law enforcement?
All dirt is in their locker at work. So their spare telephones, photographs, any evidence of anything, they keep in their locker at work, because no matter what, their spouse will never go into get access to their locker at work in law enforcement.
Unless.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna embellish on that. So this was something that happened. We knew somebody in the NYPD and in the New York law enforcement divisions. And this is something after 9/11, many of the coworkers or whatever of the fallen firemen and the fallen officers went to get to the lockers before the contents were given to the spouses.
Yep.
They
That is a
knew
fact.
that they needed to get into their brother, whatever you want to call it, their locker, so that their spouse wouldn't come across things that
Because you already lost your spouse. You really need more? You need extra? You need a dagger more? No.
I know, sad, but
you-
isn't it
you-
sad that was a thing? That was like immediately they were to go through the lockers of the fallen firemen before those things were turned over to the spouse, because that is where they kept all their dirty little secrets in their lockers.
And in law enforcement, so much dirt goes on. I don't know about firefighters, maybe the same, but law enforcement for sure.
Firefighters specifically.
I thought it was military and law enforcement number 2 as far as like infidelity.
But and I'm talking about 9/11, right? So it's 2001 when people still took pictures and developed them. And
Yes.
So it was like photographs
yeah.
and phones, secondary cell phones, and information, and yeah. So that's something that happened. I know we've talked about this before, but it's very big thing still that's happening is TikTok investigators. They try to bust you out. If people know that you're cheating on a girlfriend, or they catch wind of it, like on a trip or whatever, they will do their due diligence to try to bust you out.
Yeah.
They'll say, TikTok algorithm, do your thing. And they'll say, Dallas, downtown, such and such bar, this time is this name. And so
I spy Dallas.com. I spy
telling,
Vegas. You start doing your homework, you might see pictures.
It's
like,
telling, no, it's not that. It's telling the algorithm to show this video to everybody who is in Dallas that's this age range. And so all of a sudden your video gets shown to everybody in a specific demographic. And usually in what I've seen is they find the person. They do find the person.
Isn't
They're
it
like, oh my
crazy
God, we
people find you
found
off the
his
internet?
fiance.
Yeah.
It's not, it happens I see it all the time. And people love those. So they will see it on their For You page and they'll forward it. They immediately like engage in it and they try to get it because they love to see
that TikTok community is crazy with their investigations.
Yeah.
Huh? They go in for real.
They go in.
They even try to solving murders and stuff before. They're good at it, giving tips to the cops.
They've gotten cases reopened.
Yes.
They've done a lot of stuff. Yeah.
They're like, they'll go back and re-examine something and be like, hey, you guys missed this clue or missed this, tell law enforcement and tip them off. And it's actually helped them, I heard.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's just it's wild times. Can you imagine that you can be outed like by a stranger?
Didn't we
lose your job?
Didn't we hear somebody had an affair overseas on a vacation? I don't know who told me a story. Somehow the chick was able to find him on social media eventually. Found the person and contacted the wife. I don't know who told me this story. This person thought he was in the good. Like, person was like in the Philippines.
They think they're okay. They're out of the country. Listen, with social media, next door neighbor or 20-hour flight away, it doesn't matter. They reach you in the same distance. It does not matter. And if you get someone that, if they want to find your significant other, find you, they will find you. Yeah. It's not that hard. It actually ends up not being that hard. If people want to
find me, you just go to your local muscle car meet. You'll probably find me there.
Yes, seriously.
Not hard to find.
Local meet.
Car meets. Yep.
Anyways, guys, just where there's smoke, there's fire.
I know. Yeah. What are you going to do? That's just people, man. I don't know why you get married with that intention of you're going to go. Them people aren't ready to settle down with one person. That's what it comes down to. Remember I told you what's the biggest fear of men? Is a lot of them say, one person for the rest of my life sexually. They can't fathom that in their mind. Eventually, okay, I can do this. But when you ask them when they're young, they're like, hell no. 20s and 30s, when people ask them,
if you
that was my mentality.
Feel like that, if you feel hell no, then you shouldn't be getting married.
Yes, that's how I felt.
If you feel that way, if you still feel that way, don't get married feeling that way.
Don't get pressured from your family. Don't feel like I'm 40, whatever.
That's the worst.
Midlife person, I'm supposed to get married. Because we know someone who did that. Thought he was supposed to get two people. They thought they were doing the right thing, supposed to get married, and blew up in their face, both of them.
Yeah.
We know. Yeah, blew up in their face.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. Keep your feelers out there. Keep your feelers up. But
yeah, keep your antennas up.
Yeah, exactly. So the video that did go viral for me was about the Berberine. So I did want to give you guys an update. It's now been a week for me, a full week. And it's definitely effective. It helps for sure, but not without effort. And I think I mentioned this last time I spoke about it as well, but I want to be really clear. It's not a miracle. If you are not mindful of your intake, you will still overeat on taking it.
Mm-hmm.
However, it did hinder, like yesterday when I normally have a high calorie day on Saturdays, it hindered my ability to
Can I get
eat
some?
a lot.
I need some help. So
You
it can
keep
hinder
saying
my
that.
beast.
You know how to order some, or it's right on the table.
I'm joking. And I'm going to take yours. I need to hinder this
Jeez.
monster right here in my stomach right now.
You know how to do something for yourself? You want me to gift wrap it for you and put it on your pillow?
Yes. I want it to work.
Well, I can't.
tame
I'm
my
not a
monster-
miracle worker.
Tame my
And
hunger
what
monster down.
But that's what I wanted to say is, listen, I don't know if it's going to work for you.
That's true.
I don't
You're right.
know. It might not
no
work. It might
guarantee.
make you fart. It might make you gassy. It might make you constipated.
That's true.
I don't know. All I can tell you is what it does for me. That's all I can tell you is what it's doing for me, the benefits of it. And what I hear is, yes, it can have side effects for some people. So
At least you're being honest. You're not selling a wolf ticket.
I
Like,
don't know. I can
Yeah.
tell you for me, it's working. I also can tell you guys, I love you guys. I really do. But I don't have time to watch videos of other people making opinions about Berberine and then giving you guys my consensus on the video individually. I just don't have that kind of time.
yeah.
I opened my DMs. I had a panic attack because I had literally at least
man.
24 people sent me videos to watch. Hey, I heard this. What'd you think about this? Which means you want me to watch the video
Yes.
and then
Form an
summarize
opinion.
it.
Summarize it. Inform your opinion.
Listen, if I had that time, you guys, I would do it. I would. But I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't have that. I just don't have that time.
So basically, don't DM
So
her
if you
with
want
videos
to
to
know,
watch.
no, but if you want to know my opinion on it, watch this.
That's it. She's giving it to you right here.
This is it. Watch
There's
this.
no oth-
Listen
yeah,
to this.
It's not like you're gonna have new ones all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Because it affects everybody differently. You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And I also don't know if it'll continue to be effective for me. I also don't know if side effects will come down the road. I do know some other little tidbits that if I haven't given these already, you should cycle on and off of it. You should also change the dosage. If it makes you nauseous, lower your dosage. It's probably just too high for you. Or you can also try taking it at night before you go to sleep instead of before meals. For me, I like to take it 2 times a day, 30 minutes before the 2 meals that I tend to be the hungriest for. So like my second and third meal of the day, those are like when I'm more hungry in the afternoons. So that's
Yes.
when I like to take it. The
Big
mornings
time.
I'm fine. I'm busy. I'm working. I'm moving and shaking. I'm not
Yeah.
worried about food.
Yeah.
I'll have something small and I'm fine. So I don't take it then. I take it in the afternoons. But again, that might not work for you. You have to play with it.
Yeah.
You have
That's
to play
true.
with it. And I also take the Berberine from Thorne because I like that brand. I feel like they're a reputable brand. And I like to get the smaller dosage because I like to be able to play with my intake. If you get 1,000 milligram Berberine pill, what if you decide you want to take less?
That's smart.
What if you want to play with the intake?
Yes.
I got the smallest dosage, 200 milligrams, so that I can play. Maybe I'm going to do 400 before this meal, 600 before the next meal. Maybe I'm going to do
Instead of just 1,000 each time.
so that you can play with it.
So your tolerance doesn't get.
Yes. And if you're thinking I'm like laughing all the way to the bank, this is an Amazon thing. If you happen to use my link, I get a tiny commission off of it. That's
Yeah.
not why I'm talking about it.
Yes.
This is not a cash cow
She's
in
not
any way,
getting rich
shape, or
off
form.
of this.
It is just because I'm trying it and I've always experimented on myself with things.
Yes,
And so I share.
true.
I am also experimenting with another medication at the same time for hot flashes, Estroven, that my doctor recommended actually. And so far,
I'm out of this.
I haven't had a hot flash while I've been taking it. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, because I'm in menopause. For those of you who don't know, I'm officially in menopause. And my menopausal symptoms, just like everybody else's, I definitely feel a few things like trouble sleeping, but that's resolved. But I'm sure it'll come back. But so far, I've been sleeping good. But lately, I've also felt, this might be TMI, but man, sometimes it is really hard to hold my pee.
Very hard.
Like incontinence.
That's my problem every night. I
So,
wish I could
like,
sleep the whole night.
I had to go to the bathroom on during Saturday's Orange Theory class 4 times during one class. And it was just to let the tiniest little bit of pee out because I was so afraid that I was going to pee my pants.
Wow.
And so that is a menopause symptom for sure. My cousin actually told me I should talk to them because there's some like little pellet or something they can give me for that. It's terrible. It is not a good feeling to think if at any time, especially for me, now I feel like because of that, I'm overcompensating and not maybe drinking as much water as I should because I'm afraid that I'm going to leak.
Tinkle, tinkle.
Yeah, forget it. If someone makes me laugh or something,
Or,
tinkle, tinkle.
or shart, that's worse.
No, babe,
That's
sharding
worse.
is not anything to do with menopause.
No, I know that. I'm just saying that's worse.
Have you sharded?
I have of course I have. I've had accidents in my life. Don't act like you haven't. I'll admit, I'm man enough to admit it. Yes, I have.
But that's not a symptom of menopause, though.
I never said it was.
Oh, okay, we're talking
said-
about
I
tinkling.
just said what's worse than tinkling is
Yeah.
sharding.
Oh, yeah. Listen, a tinkle, you could get away with a tinkle. Especially, I have put in like a liner so to catch the tinkles. But sharding, that's a no bueno for sure.
Yeah.
If that was a menopause symptom, man, I would be devastated.
Man, I had to find out the hard way. Too much coconut oil.
Oh,
In the
coconut
coffee.
oil.
Remember that? Oh,
Yes.
no bueno.
We were in Colombia on keto, and you
Goodness.
wanted to get your fats in before going to the gym.
Yeah.
You took 2 tablespoons of coconut oil.
Bad idea, you guys.
Did you-
I was like crawling, fighting, having to stop. Oh my God, I got to get to the bathroom.
But wait, did you end up sharding a little
No,
bit?
no, I did not.
You
no.
made it?
Yeah, I made it. Barely.
You were sweating.
I was sweating. That was a rough one. I was like, this ain't good. That's why you always say, start small. Don't
I
go heavy on
always say
anything.
that.
Same thing with creatine
When
can mess my stomach up too. I take too
Yes,
much. I don't make me go number
yes.
2.
Yeah, creatine
much.
can too. So
Yes.
start small. You build a tolerance.
Yeah,
Berberine
facts.
is no different. Don't start 600 milligrams right out the gate. Try one pill. Make sure like it doesn't like do something crazy. You have to let your body adjust.
This is
things
something new.
sometimes.
It's a new substance you're putting in your body. It's like, what is this? Do I like this? Do I not? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That
Oh,
is
man.
hilarious. Like I said, give it a try or not. It's up to you guys. I've had so many different people say it worked for me. It didn't. That video, like I said, is going pretty viral. So I stopped reading the comments. Whenever a video goes viral, I stop. I exit.
Exit.
Because, man, you get people starting to argue with each other. And
Dude, you don't want no part of that. That's why
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, you got to follow his advice. Post and ghost. Post and go. He tells all comedians that too. Like, dude, post and ghost. Don't look at the comments because it gets to them. Psychologically, it affects a lot of people.
yeah, but I have to reply. That's people that need my help. I don't mind helping people.
That's different.
It's just
The
when
argument part, though.
when it gets to like negativity, or if someone's giving me an attitude.
Yeah.
Someone wrote, okay, get to the point. Does it work or not? Are you losing weight? And I was like, fuck you.
Who the
Doc.
fuck are you?
to
Get
the
off your
point.
high
Get
horse.
off my fucking
The
TikTok.
fuck you think you are? Exactly. People think they're so important, like they matter.
No.
Shut the hell
Hold
up.
on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't tell you right away. Hello. It's a teaser clip to an entire episode of the podcast. Listen to the fucking podcast.
Yeah. Which bus did you take to school? It's the question we should be asking you.
Oh, that would be considered
I know.
politically incorrect.
I know.
But that was something that we were told a lot. When we were growing up. That was a
Yep.
common
Sorry, I was born in
insult. And
75.
That's
Yeah.
a common playground insult.
Yes, it is. But just saying. Sometimes I don't think they're what they're asking.
I
Think
know.
it through slowly with the question you're asking.
Yes, I know.
Watch the attitude. Nobody owes you shit on social media. Remember that. No celebrity, no person you're following.
I also had a lot of people saying, what are the results you got? I'm like, what do you mean the results? What, you think I lost 5 pounds?
No, right?
I'm not looking for results yet. I've only done it for 6 days.
You're trying to tame the beast.
Like, what
people,
results?
They don't. You're trying to just tame the beast. You have a
No, but people want to say, I lost 7 pounds in 10 days. That's what
Just-
they're wanting to hear. You're never going to hear no BS coming out of my mouth
Yeah.
like that, okay?
This ain't the podcast for that.
No. Although
We're
I
not gonna
have to
sell you
say,
snake oil.
I am also right now doing my cleanse because, oh, and you know what? Now that I think about it, it could be a side effect of berberine, but I have been a tad constipated. I'm
You
sorry,
said that.
guys. I should have, this episode should come with a warning.
You know what? You need to say, hey, listen to this before lunchtime.
Yeah, before lunch. It's going to
Yes,
have a warning,
sorry,
not
'cause-
safe for lunch.
No.
But I think I've
That's
been a
what I
little
admitted to.
constipated, and it could be the berberine, but that's okay. That's something I can deal with. But because of it, I'm doing my daily cleanse from One Up Nutrition.
Yeah. Is it working?
And
Like a
Yes.
mofo? Yeah, to
It
say the
is
least.
working. It is working.
That's
Therefore,
good.
maybe I lost some weight from that because
You probably did.
there's definitely been some weight lost.
Damn, you get backed up. I don't. I'm a
if I'm
easy
not
peas
on
every
top
day.
of it, I no, it's because it's a domino effect, right? It's probably to do with I haven't been taking in as much fluid because I've been having problems with the incontinence stuff. Like I'm a wreck with the stress.
Stress a lot. Your
It's
menopause, your
just a
father, your
lot.
son. It's been a lot. It has
It's
been
been
a
a
lot.
lot. Also, yes,
Personal
my
life has been a lot.
taking care of my
You
dad
know?
and my son.
Yes.
It's just I'm not on my water game. I'm not on like the things I normally on, so it threw off my regularity because my schedule's thrown off too.
But
So
you know what, though? What you haven't done? You've never skipped one day of your workouts. I'm proud of you. You never gave in or said, I'm too tired. I don't feel mentally good. You go, because that's what probably keeps you good, is
Thank
going.
God for that.
Yeah.
No, I still go to my workouts. Incontinence at all. But the
That don't
daily
stop.
cleanse does work. I like it. It's similar if you guys have heard me talk before about InnoSups. I still love the InnoSups one. It worked well
Show
for
them the
me as
bottle that you're
well.
taking.
But since I am on the...
I wonder what it would do for a person like me. If
I know, because you're already really good. You're
Yes.
like Shart City. I don't know.
I know, right?
I don't know, but here it is, the daily cleanse. And it says daily cleanse. Do I take this every day? No. I take it 4 pills per day all at once on the days that I need it. And usually I'll take it 2 to 3 days in a row maximum. Today is my second day taking it, and it's already like doing its magic. So I don't think I'll take it a third day.
I'm going to try some. I'm going to curious.
But yeah, that One Up Nutrition, I love that stuff. Speaking of One Up Nutrition, I also am trying their new pre-workout, which I love. It is the collab with Sydney Adams, and it is a little lower in caffeine, which I like because it gives me more room for caffeine in other areas because I try to keep my caffeine
Also,
under
the other
300.
one that we had more caffeine in
Yeah.
it? Dude, that one was powerful.
Yeah.
That one was good.
So this one has lower caffeine, and it does not have beta alanine. So if you are sensitive to that kind of inner itchy feeling from pre-workout, which I used to be, but you can build a tolerance to it. But anyways, this one doesn't have it. It's really good, but it's a limited release. So if you guys want to try it, highly recommend, because it is delicious tasting. It tastes like a cocktail. It tastes like a Malibu rum cocktail. The flavor is Miami Vice. You know that drink, Miami Vice?
Yes. I remember that drink.
It's like red and blue.
Yellow. Yes. Typical vacation looking cocktail.
The one that makes you very hungover because it's full of sugar. Horrible. We discovered, by the way, if you are in the Bay Area, a new spot that's my new addiction. I already know when a new addiction is coming. I can just feel it brewing. My new addiction is what? Can you guess?
Here we go.
Can you guess?
Yes.
What's the name?
Mediterranean spot at Milpitas called Mykonos Grill.
Yes, you guys. You heard it here on Calaveras, Mykonos Grill.
Nothing fancy. Hole in the wall.
It's a hole in the wall. And you know what
Let me tell you,
pisses
though,
me off?
those are the best. Hole in the walls.
I feel like it's
Dude.
like authentic
Yes.
Mykonos food.
Yes.
And this is what pisses me off. I have driven by that place probably
For years. Hundreds.
hundreds
if not
of
thousands
times,
of times.
because it has been there since 2008. So I have driven by that place for 15 years because I am in that area frequently.
Yeah.
Even over the past year, I've been tons because I pick up my dad's prescriptions right next door. And I never went in, even though I love Mediterranean food and it says Mykonos Grill, and I never went in. And it's just,
you know why?
irritates
Because
me.
we're scared. Not scared, but we don't want to
Waste.
our food, our calories, and be like, we're gonna eat it, but you know what I'm saying?
I'm a creature of habit. I
Yes.
don't like to, I love Luna, you guys know, so I go there all the time.
Because it's guaranteed.
It's
We go to guaranteed
guaranteed.
spots. Like yesterday, I went to Guapos for a cheat
Yeah.
day. Yeah, Guapos.
I love guapos too.
And I never had a quesadilla from them. Delicious. First time.
But the Mykonos Grill, the chicken souvlaki plate,
yeah,
you
chunks.
get the rice and the salad. You get a little Greek salad. You get huge chunks of chicken breast on skewers over rice with a little tzatziki sauce on the side with a couple pieces of pita bread. You guys.
Banging.
It is
Banging.
10 out of 10.
Yes. It's
Delicious.
Good.
And clean.
The rice, yeah.
Very clean. Very clean.
enjoyed
So what
it.
I do is I'll combine 2 of my meals and I'll have that instead. I would venture to guess that plate, when I don't eat all of the rice and I only eat half the pita bread, my guesstimate was 700 calories for the plate. If I would eat all the rice and the pita bread, it'd be 1,000 calories.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of food and a lot of protein. That's probably like 8 ounces of chicken
At
breast.
least. Yeah, they didn't skimp.
No. Delicious. So if you're in the Bay Area, make sure you check that place out.
Very good.
Anything else going on for you? How was your car show?
It was good. Good little meetup. Good turnout. Probably about several hundred cars. You know where that Curtin 87? Right there, there's a church. I think there's like a BART station right there, parking lot.
Oh.
That's where we had it at. And
yeah,
that's
by
some
the
food
plant.
trucks. But yeah, you go on Capitol, past the plant.
Oh, okay.
Under the overpass,
yes,
the other side.
I do know.
There's a,
I
you
know.
know where I'm. Yeah.
Right by the freeway.
Yeah.
I do know that area.
So it was a good turnout.
Oh, that's good. We finally got some good weather here.
And it's
which
hot.
Is nice.
Yeah, and it's like hot out there. Like I got used to this. I came home, I was dying because I'm not acclimated to this heat yet. It went from 70s, 60s, 70s, all of a sudden, like we said, 80s, 90s.
I know, but it's nice and cool in the house, which is why I have my sweatshirt on. And then I've been just a bum all day.
So that's about it.
Yeah.
Finals tonight to watch on TV. Who are you rooting for? You don't.
I don't even know.
Game?
Let me tell you,
See,
I don't even know who's in the finals.
Of course you don't.
Wait a minute.
You don't know.
The Nuggets.
Yes.
The Nuggets.
What's one of our favorite vacation spots to go to?
Oh, and the Miami Heat.
There you go, kiddo.
Oh, that's not too bad.
See? I gave you a
But
hint.
at least I was honest.
Yes.
I hate when people like pretend, like they try to be cool.
Or pretend, or if you're like a pretend, like you like the UFC or fighting like I do. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
fake, or all of a sudden you're a hardcore sports fan. Like we go to the games. You like the Warriors and
Yeah,
Niners.
I like the Warriors and I like the games
You do.
sometimes, but I don't pretend to be something that I'm not.
Overboard. You don't follow the stats, the players, the trades, all the drama shit.
No,
that's
I
going
do. I get interested in it with a little bit with the Warriors.
on.
Though.
Of course.
Like
Our
when
home team.
Bob Myers didn't resign.
I know, that's sad. That's a sad one for a lot of Bears. They love because he's been part of the process. 4 rings.
Yeah.
10 years he was there? 10, 11 years? Yeah.
And my car is still being fixed, guys. You know what? I just wanted to address this really quickly just because I saw it and I didn't even reply to it, but I'm sure it's a listener and she's comments a lot and I appreciate her always engaging with our stuff. But she made a comment about how, because you mentioned what kind of car I had.
Yeah.
You said what it was, which I usually wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But you said what it was. And we were complaining that we had repairs. And she made a comment, and it's a public comment, so I can talk about it. It wasn't a private DM, and said you should be careful, or you should, at least you have the money to pay for it. And you're very fortunate to even have a car like that. And so on and so forth. But I do want to clarify, first of all, that's an assumption to assume that we have the money to pay for the expensive repairs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that sometimes perception or the assumption, we never said, hey, we're just going to go walk over to the bank and take out the gazillions and jillions of dollars that we have to pay for the repair. I said I was really sad because we have a very expensive repair.
Yes.
And we're figuring it out.
Yeah, we are.
But I've always been really careful and really clear. I never want to, I'm not boastful about
No.
material things
No.
in any way because I am very aware. Look, I came from like immigrant family and
Same
you were
here.
poor, like dirt poor.
My
Yeah, 6 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. So
welfare.
I don't know
poor.
if that doesn't come through. I want to just make sure that we're 2 people who are from humble beginnings and we don't live like a lavish
No.
lifestyle. We're just like
Never.
middle class people who stress about finances just like you guys.
Yes.
I promise you that.
Yes. But we want you to help us blow up the podcast.
Yes, maybe I can
Please.
pay off those repairs.
Yes. We want to have a studio someday, blow up, and it's going to
But
be
yeah,
because
I
of you
just
guys.
want to. I think
So.
I felt a little sad about it because this is a listener, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, I hope that you threw it out there and flippantly about the make of my car,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, I hope that doesn't. I don't know. I've just always been like,
It's a used car, though. It's the old
Well,
car.
yeah,
it's not brand
it's
new.
actually 9 years old,
Yeah. It's,
but I've never
Paid
wanted
off,
to
payments.
feel like we say things that make people feel bad or
no.
like we have more than people or that things come easier to us
No,
or whatever.
I
I've
wish.
always tried to be very authentic on here, and we're in a lot of ways like everybody else. Yes, we're fortunate. We're not like in dire straits, but we come from humble
Still a struggle, though.
humble beginnings, and life still beats you down
Yes.
sometimes, and sometimes the money doesn't floweth like we'd like it to.
Of course. Just being honest.
So if it made you feel a type of way, I apologize, but I want to be clear on that. Like it wasn't like, it's
I know
kind
what
of
you
like
mean.
first world problems.
Yes,
like,
yes.
my car is going to cost thousands of dollars. You know
When
what I
other
mean? No,
people are
that's
struggling to make rent, food, and I've been
not,
there.
and that's not what
I've
that's
been there.
not the
Growing up poor.
message I wanted to get out. What I wanted to get out was when what's scary is when you're getting knocked down before you even have a chance to crawl back up and you got knocked down again and knocked down again. That is when your mental health is at its most vulnerable.
100%.
And so that's the only reason why I mentioned it, because I was just being really real with you guys. That is just like, I feel like I'm being pummeled a little bit.
Yes.
And it wasn't to make anyone feel like their problems aren't way worse. And we talked about this yesterday, actually.
We did.
Is that I do feel for every problem that I have, you know what I always tell myself? I said, you know what? There's somebody out there who has a much worse. Like they would give anything for this problem. We just had that conversation.
Yep.
But I think sometimes maybe I forget to convey that on here publicly. That I do think about that, and I have a lot of empathy for problems and things that other people are facing.
Yeah.
And know that my problems in the face of what other people face every day are nothing. They would give their right arm for my problems.
Look at the embarrassment my friend and his family had to suffer over his sister's death. The mockery they made of
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Not
His
only did
parents
they
fell.
lose, and we're talking about, just so you guys know, the Kim Kardashian lookalike
Yes. That's
died during a BBL
what
procedure.
these people don't understand is they made fun of him. They said bad, nasty things. That's somebody's sister, man. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody's daughter.
Yeah. So they had to go through.
Pretty much public embarrassment because the way they're shaming her. Not that they're embarrassed of their sibling.
No, but they already had to deal with the grief of, that was
the blowback.
horrible.
They heard the comments. I told my boy, don't ever read the comments and none of that
Yeah,
stuff, dude.
it's just hard. No,
Yeah.
you do have to have, I really do feel, but I pride myself. That's one thing I pride myself on is I do have empathy.
Of course.
I always try to see things from other people's perspectives. That is why in this particular comment, when I read it and I saw it from that perspective, I thought, oh, like I would never want, I get it. I understand exactly what she.
Yeah. Some people take offense to it.
Yes, and I get that. And so I don't want to be insensitive like that. And I want to know that, like, I want you to know that I understand what you were trying to say. I get it. And I agree with you. I do. It can sound like that sometimes. Oh, God. I couldn't fly private, so I had to actually fly first class on a commercial. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
One of those kind of complaints.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Go fuck yourself.
Or we're here trying
I
to
had
feed
to take Greyhound bus.
Yeah. Done that too.
You know what I mean?
Done that too.
I've done that too.
Took public transportation. I've done it all, man. We come from humble and like you said, humble beginnings. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon, rich, poor immigrant parents.
Yeah.
Parents didn't even know lick English.
You definitely came up more in poverty than I
We're
did
homeless
at
one
times.
point.
Yeah,
we're
you were
homeless for 6+ months as a family. Scary.
Yeah, that's scary. All right, you guys. I didn't want to mean to leave it on a bad note,
No.
but I like to be just real.
We just like to keep it real.
Keep it real here. Have an open line of communication and
we appreciate everybody listening, following,
commenting,
referring us to friends, family to listen to this. All that helps, man. You guys, you're the reason why we're here. And we want to succeed and blow up bigger because we want to one day say thank you to all you guys because you're part of this.
Yeah.
They're part of this. It ain't just us. You guys are part of this too.
For sure. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.